Hello and welcome to the All About Lincoln, Maine podcast. I'm here today with Connie Rand, a local artist here in Lincoln, and we're going to explore all about her artwork and everything that she does. Hello.
Hello.
Well, Connie, so you're quite the artist around here, so I hear. Tell me a little bit about your artwork.
Well, back in my day, I'm antiquated. Is that the best way to say it?
Sure. You're wiser, not older.
Okay, I'll accept that.
There you go.
But when I was in school, we didn't have art in school at all. We didn't have anything like that. I had some lessons with Catherine Goodwin at the library, and that was it. Other than that, I didn't have any art education, but I'd always loved to draw. So when it came time to decide what to do after high school, I knew there was an art school in Portland, and so I managed to get there and enjoy 4 years at the Portland School of Fine and Applied Art. And I've been doing art ever since in one form or another.
And what is your favorite type of, what do you like to paint and draw? And what is your favorite type?
Wildlife and landscapes, mostly. I have painted people in the past, but I don't enjoy it. If you paint a rock, it doesn't care what it looks like on the canvas. If you paint an animal, it's not going to say my tail is on wrong. But if you paint a person, a portrait of them, they might say, is that really what I look like?
Yeah.
So I'm not so much, I can do it, but I really enjoy painting what's around me. I want to show people what they might not see by themselves, help them notice things that they might otherwise pass by.
Now, has your work been in galleries?
It has been in some galleries, and also it's been, I just sell it myself mostly. I'd rather do that, and I have a Facebook page, I have a website, and the stuff is hanging everywhere. It's in US and Canada mostly. I don't think I have one piece in Italy, I think, but most everything is in the United States or it's in Canada. So
now, has anybody ever written about your work? Like, have you ever been in news articles or anything like that?
Here and there, I've had some articles, but it's been a while for that. My husband and I have had an advertising business for a long time, but my goal is just to paint pictures.
Right.
I do build websites. I do I have Quilter's World magazine that I illustrate on my trusty Mac over here. I do all of the illustrations in here that show you how to put the quilts together. And I also design quilts for the same company. They're based in Indiana, but I do the drawings right here.
Awesome.
And they get sent out electronically. I have been out there a few times in the past, but now we do everything over the internet. So
it's amazing how much the world has changed. So you also illustrate.
Yes, I illustrate children's books. I've written some myself, but I haven't illustrated those yet. But I've illustrated some for Stephanie Mulligan. I've got another one going for someone else. It's not in the stage where I can show it to you yet. I haven't got enough done on that one. So I do illustrate children's books as well, and I do whatever I can with my Mac. But I do all the artwork for the children's books and all the paintings by hand. There's no AI involved. This is all the real deal.
Now, and Stephanie Mulligan, she is actually a local author right here in Lincoln as well, right?
She is, and she's a book publisher. She publishes books that others have written too. So she's gotten to be this How to Catch a Keeper was I think that was her first one. And after that she did this other one about how to tap a maple, but she's also published lots of books by other people. She's got quite a business going now.
Well, good.
She's wonderful to work with. Such a nice person and very talented.
That's awesome. So just showing you a couple of your illustrations here. Let's see. And then we're going to walk around a little bit. I'm going to show a little bit of your paintings, which are quite incredible. You have some stories about some of this artwork?
I do. This one over here, this one is called Lunch Break. These are just two moose. I imagine there's a romantic interlude in there somewhere, but right now it's everywhere in this house. When I design them for magazines and books and such, I get to keep the samples.
So you actually design
I design them and I have to stitch a sample, and then I send that to Indiana and it comes back.
So where did you get the knowledge of that, or is that self-taught mostly?
Pretty much self-taught. I was working at the Lincoln News a long time ago. I met Sandra Hatch, who lives here in town. She edits, or did until she retired, edits publications for this company. And she needed a technical artist to do the drawings for the things that she was editing. So she asked me if I would be willing to do that. And then
So it's almost like it's a whole collective of the creative world in Lincoln is kind of like this undercurrent collective.
There are so many artists in this town. They're amazing. In the general area outside, my friend Paul Thibodeau, who painted that painting over there, is an amazing artist. There's June Gray, Dwayne. What's Dwayne's last name? Gordon. No. There are lots of artists around here, and they have had a really good art program at MA. I don't know if that's, I haven't been involved with that, so I don't really know what's going on there right now. But there are plenty of artists around here.
It's just too bad that, I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to do this for my art project is because I feel like Southern Maine gets all the cred.
Oh, yeah.
Northern Maine gets ignored.
Well, you know there are two Maines.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, it'd be nice if there were more, like, there was a gallery presence here in which there was someone curating it that was able to show the artwork and display it in our area, because there are so many good artists.
There have been a couple over the years.
I know the Rule, that place closed down.
Well, he had a fire in there, and I lost some artwork in that fire.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I got insurance value for it, but still I lost several pieces in the fire. There was another art gallery on Main Street for a little while, but that didn't go. I mean, not before the one that was most recent.
The Possibilities.
There was another one before that, and that didn't stay all that long. I don't think people in this area have a lot of disposable income.
Yeah.
A lot of people do like art, but they can't always afford to buy it. And those of us who do it can't afford to give it away, mostly.
Well, not just that, but we can't afford to, like, run a gallery.
Yeah. It's expensive to do. And when an artist deals with a gallery, a lot of people don't realize that the price the artist gets for the work is just about half of what you see on the price sticker, because the gallery needs to make money. They've got to keep the doors open. They have to maybe hire someone or do a lot of work themselves. They've got to keep the lights on. Their expenses paid. So they can't do it for nothing. The artist might do better because they might sell 2 paintings through the gallery when they could only have sold 1 for themselves. So, and it's hard to find a really good gallery that fits your work. Not every gallery is going to want pictures of rocks and moose like these.
Is there a gallery up in Millinocket, though?
It's closed now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Someone who went to the same art school I did had that. Marcia Donahue was a nice gallery, too, but she decided to close. She's from Pittsfield, and she went back down there. So I had some things in her gallery, and the last time I got a chance to see her was when she stopped by and dropped off the few things that were left there that were mine. So I got a chance to see her then. But art school was a very different experience for me. It was so different because everybody was talking just about art. I thought I'd already gone to heaven.
Right.
Because, what? You actually, you assign me things to draw and paint. You're teaching me how to use all these materials I hadn't even seen before. And this is supposed to seem like work.
Right.
It didn't. And I made a lot of friends who are still friends to this day. That was a long time ago. And
Yeah.
I still have friends all over the place from school, from art school. They were not, it wasn't a large school. It's bigger now than it was. They bought other buildings that we just had one building pretty much when I went there. Well, two buildings, an administration one and the class building. Now they own the old Porches store where I worked for 6 years after I got out of school. And I worked in the at different places, but I ended up in the advertising department doing all sorts of things. And then I got a chance to move up here when they needed someone at the Lincoln News. So homeward bound I was.
Right.
I had a little one at the time. And so we stayed with my parents for a little while, and then I bought this house.
This place.
Yeah. Not too many people still on the street who lived here. Carol's one. She's been here. Mike Whitney, Stephen Patty Pine, Sharon Brooke. All those people have been here since before I came here. 46 years ago.
Aging yourself now, I'm like
78.
I think we're all aging. It's like we never grow, we never get younger.
No.
With that.
Sometimes upstairs we get a little younger. No, I'm 78 years old, but I'm in very good health, and I will never retire from this stuff. Why would I?
Yeah.
I love doing it, unless I've got arthritis and I've had some surgeries, and but I can twiddle my thumbs now without pain.
There you go.
But I still love what I do. I love it more all the time, and I never stop coming up with ideas. Some people are going down the interstate from here to Bangor thinking, oh, ho hum, it's a bunch of trees. With me, my husband likes to drive or he gets car sick, so I sit there in the passenger seat, and it's absolute overload of design elements and ideas. And there's a just below mile marker 206 on the way down southbound, there is a maple tree that looks like it got twirled around something when it was small, and now it's enormous, but it's got this twisty place in the middle of it. There are beaver dams all over the place. Yeah. There are trees that fell down, and they would make a great backdrop for, say, a deer or a moose that was lying down.
Yeah.
And have these big roots behind them. We just saw 4 deer the other day. We've seen all kinds of wildlife along the way. So my eyes are peeled for things that maybe everybody doesn't notice.
And Maine is such a beautiful state that constantly can give you inspiration just by its landscape.
It's incredible. It is the most beautiful place. I've traveled quite a bit because my daughter was in the Navy. She spent 20 years as a Navy musician. She's an artist too, but with different
different type
focus. She lives in Washington State, but she's been stationed in quite a few different places. And I have family in Newfoundland, so I've been up there a couple times. And so I've seen a lot of other places, but this is home, and this is the place that resonates with me.
Right, definitely. So what would you say to someone who's a new artist just wanting to start out? What would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them art school is now much more expensive than it was when I went.
Oh, yeah.
And it might be a great place to go and to learn about the materials and to meet people and everything. I haven't been toward the art school as it is now, the one that is morphed into Maine College of Art and Design from the form that it was in when I was there. But there are so many ways to learn things now. I would give somebody one big tip, though. When learning to use your materials and when you're working on anything, buy the best things you can afford to buy, because you never know when something's going to turn out really well. And you don't want to try to present to somebody something that you've done with a number 2 pencil on a piece of copy paper.
Yeah.
It's not. You want to buy the best that you can get. It doesn't always mean they're expensive. You want to try as many materials as you can so that you can settle on the things that you enjoy. Some people like watercolor, some like acrylic, some like oil. I like them all. Some people like to only draw. Some do scratch boards. Some build things. Some sculpt. I've done a little of that too. But you should try as many different things as you can. If you can find someone else in your area who does those things, and you can ask if you can just shadow them for a little while and just sit and talk with them, that's wonderful. And YouTube is a great resource. There are so many artists who are sharing what they do, but take a look at their finished work before you listen to them.
Right.
Zoom ahead to the end, and if you really like what they're doing, if not, they probably can still teach you something,
Right.
but they might teach you what not to do.
True.
So learn how to use the materials in an archival way. If you're painting in oil colors, they need to be, we always called it fat over lean. There should be more thinner in the underlayer and more oil in the upper layer.
Okay.
So that it doesn't buckle and crack and everything. And when I've got paint brushes. This one here is about 55 years old.
Wow.
And yet it's still fine because I took care of it. I bought it when I was in art school, and I've got a bunch of others right behind me and in other places around my studio that I've had they're older than some of my friends.
Right.
And they're older than you, for sure. But if you take care of your materials, you always need to wash brushes afterwards, and lay them down flat when they're drying so that the water doesn't get in the metal ferrule and make it loose. And store them upright so that after they're dry, so that you don't mess up the bristles, and don't let your grandkids eat them, or the usual.
Play with them.
Yeah.
I know.
But I never throw them away. If they finally get so the bristles break, they can still be useful to make a texture or something.
Yeah.
So buy the best materials you can, take good care of them, and do a lot of experimentation. Some people love drawing. The first thing I drew was a horse. I love drawing horses. Some people want to draw the people in their family. Some people want to draw the street they live on, or they like to draw buildings or ships, trains, planes, cars, abstract shapes. As far as abstract art versus figurative art or realistic art, if you think about it, the stuff that pretends to be realistic, that looks like something, is actually more abstract than the thing that's only abstract, because the abstract one only pretends to be paint or on a surface. That's all, and it's just the design, the color, the shapes, the whatever, the lines. The one that's pretending to be something and really isn't, that's a little bit more abstract to me than the thing that only pretends to be what it is.
Yeah.
Some people like doing just design, and design is really important. You need a center of interest in a painting or a drawing, the place where the eye is going to end up looking at the most. But artists are control freaks with your eyes. When you stand looking at a painting, say one of mine, I've already told your eye where to go, and that's where it's going to go.
Yep.
And it's going to end up where I want you to end up, because there are little tricks and tips that you can use to have people notice what it is you really want them to see. So give them plenty to look at, but give them a focal point too. Otherwise, what's the point? You need a point.
Right.
For a conversation or painting.
So have you ever had any of your work down south more, or it's been mostly up here?
Oh, both.
As far as galleries or whatever.
As far as galleries, they both actually. I've done some sidewalk art shows in different places. That's fun, but you don't really always sell a lot of artwork, and it's tedious because you have to have a stand to put things on. You have to transport it there. You have to hang it up. You have to be there. And being there is fun, talking to the people. I love talking to people about the work, but it is kind of supposed to speak for itself. So I think it was Picasso who said, if you have to explain what you did, then why did you do it? That's a paraphrase. But anyway, it does speak for itself to a certain degree. And just like a musician, you can speak to the musician about the composition they're playing, or about the work that the piece that they're playing, but listening to it is the important thing. Your ears have to do that work, and you might be thinking things when you're listening to a piece that's being played. But and you can talk to the musicians or the composer all you want to if they're still living, but really listening to it is the point. So
Well, I just recently went to one of those candlelight classical music things at Four Seasons, and I didn't realize that the Four Seasons all had poems attached to them, and that's what the music was about those poems. So in the church, they read the poems and then they played the music, and you're like, oh,
now you can see the point.
I get it now.
Yeah. But every artist has a story to tell. Mine started out when I was 3 years old. My father worked at the mill, so we always had plenty of paper to draw on. We had crayons and pencils and so forth. My mother would draw farm animals for me and just outline drawings of them. And one day she was busy, probably busy with my brother because he was 1 at the time. So she said, instead of just saying, get out of my hair, I've got things to do, she said, why don't you try it? And I said to myself, I bet I could do that. And so why not? I drew a horse. It would look scary if that was what real horses looked like. But it did have a mane, and it had a forelock, and it had all it was just the horse's head and neck. And for a 3-year-old, maybe it wasn't horrible. But it wasn't a great work of art, but it set me on a path that I'm still following.
Because you loved it so much.
I did, and I kept drawing, and I kept drawing. I have a bunch of old things in my closet behind me here that are things that I did when I was 10 and 12 years old, and they're not wonderful, but I was able to get enough of a portfolio of things together to show to the art school so that I could get in.
Yeah.
They were just mostly drawings that I did, but they saw something, so they let me go there. So
awesome.
And it was just an interesting path to follow, but a little bit of a lonely one at first because I didn't know very many people interested in art. I really didn't. I knew people who liked to look at pictures. Calendars were full of pictures. Sometimes they had paintings. I got paint by number sets for my birthday and so forth, and I would paint the pictures that came with them. But then I had all this leftover paint, and that was marvelous because it smelled so good. It smelled like linseed oil, and I could do whatever I wanted with it. And that was my source of oil paint when I was a little kid. I got to learn how to use it a little bit by filling in the patches that on the marked on there, and
so those are useful.
Yeah.
So people, if you got someone who loves it,
yes,
get them a paint by number.
Yes, and all those adult coloring books.
Yeah.
With the very fine little places to fill in, they're pretty good for finger dexterity. Don't laugh at them, and they're kind of relaxing. But I was a little bit. I was quiet in school, and I didn't cause a ruckus or anything, but I asked a couple of times when they would show us a coloring paper that we had to do, and it said color this red, color that orange, color that black, and I would ask the teacher, I understand why it is you'd like me to color these. I know what the words are and I know which colors they mean, but I really wish that I could color that orange instead of red. Is that okay? And she would say, no, you have to color it the color that it says. Okay, I did.
Fine.
But sometimes I'd ask for another copy of it to take home so I could color it whatever color I wanted. And they were usually good about that. But so you weren't allowed a whole lot of creativity. And I don't think my coloring pages were all that neat back then. But they were enthusiastic.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it was John Lennon who said, every child is an artist until someone tells him he isn't.
Yep.
So there's art in all of us. And don't think because you haven't picked up a brush or a camera or whatever else people use to make art that you can't do it, because you probably can. Some people are artists with cakes. Some people are artists with detailing a car. Anything you do is art in a way.
Right.
It's your own art. Somebody can build a house. I can't do that. I can live in one, but I can't build it.
Like my husband is like instantaneously could already have the dimensions down in this room and tell you exactly what to do with it.
That's his art.
And me, I just say yellow room.
Yeah. And everyone has something that is their art. They might write. That's a really special art right there. I just write funny children's books.
Right.
Some of them are kind of a hoot, but they don't have illustrations yet because I'm busy illustrating other people's art.
books.
Yeah, maybe someday I'll get around to doing my own. But there is art everywhere, and even if you haven't ever put a brush to a canvas or a pencil to a piece of paper, in your head you may have drawn some things.
Yeah.
You may know what you wish you could draw, and I'll bet if you tried, you could. So all of you people out there, I want to hear that you've been drawing and painting and photographing things and building things and
Definitely.
whatever it is you know how to do it. And if someone tells you you can't, that's not right. You can.
Definitely.
You might just need a little encouragement along the way. So here it is. Encouragement. Go do it.
All right. Some encouragement from Connie Rand. Well, thank you so much for your time, Connie.
You're
today.
welcome.
And thank you all for listening, and have a great day.